Hello there, everyone. Welcome to a special edition of the Tony Surace Sports Talk Show. And as I told Jim Quinn, the best thing that I can pinch hit for here for Jim is talk a little Millville football. And we have a couple of recent graduates start on the state championship team with us. To my immediate right, quarterback Nate Robbins, and wide receiver, defensive back Tiyon Cephas to his right, and then our new head football coach, Huberto, Bert Aiella, who will get a chance to talk a little bit about the upcoming 2022 football season. But let me start with the graduating players who had just an incredible season, an incredible career. Do you know what your record was in your career?
No.
Put you on the spot?
Yeah.
You didn't lose many games. We've been riding high. You remember, Bert?
Oh, I'm trying to think.
You'll figure it out while I ask.
I'm trying to think. I forget what we had his sophomore year, his junior year. What'd you have junior year? That
4-4.
That was
Junior
COVID year.
4-4.
And then
Year
sophomore
before
year, we lost in the semis to Shawnee.
We were 4-5.
We were 4-5 in
I think so.
that year.
Yeah.
So
Well, we definitely remember last year.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
So, Nate, let's talk a little bit about last year's season. You've been the quarterback for 3 years, and what's some of your memories of that career and of last year?
Memories, probably camp every year. Camp was hard, hot, a lot of emotions, but it brought everybody just closer together, and it just made our season a lot better. That's definitely a highlight of every year.
How about highlights of last season?
Last season just has to be the last game of the season.
That's an easy answer,
yeah,
right?
Way to cap off. All of our seniors, just a way to go out and just put an end to a perfect season.
Yeah. You guys came on at the end, and I don't think anybody in the state of New Jersey was playing better football than Millville was. And what a tremendous game against a great opponent in Winslow, and up at Rutgers, and found a way to again not only be competitive but win the thing and win the whole state title. So Tiyon, offense and defense. We talked a little bit before the show. Your preference?
I prefer offense. I like scoring touchdowns. I'm a big offensive guy, but I also do love defense. But, if I had to pick, it would be offense. I like scoring.
Well, you might get your chance. Who knows? But I said to Tiyon before the show when we were talking that in watching him play, I just thought he was exceptional on the defensive side of the ball, and the coverage skills that he had were really exceptional. Now, Coach, you were with him last year. You were with the program, and we'll talk a little bit about your career in a minute. But tell the audience and a little bit about these two guys and your experience coaching with them.
I mean, they were amazing young men. I mean, I had them from freshman year, so I was their freshman coach. So. We had our rough go at it freshman year, but we literally only had like 15 players on the freshman team. So we were scrambling. There was times where we had 14, but you just saw something in that freshman year that these young men were just resilient. And I remember saying it to them that you guys will win a state championship by your senior year. And but they're upstanding young men. I mean, I'm just happy to see that they got to the success that they had, and to see them go on to the next level. I mean, they're just going to continue to excel. Great character, great quality individuals. They were just a perfect representation of what our program is about.
I've heard that from so many people that have said echoed the exact same words that you're saying. And talk to them. We'll talk to them a little bit about the season they went through this past year, and culminated with a Winslow win. But starting out, did you? I'm sure Coach Thomas said this. Take it one game at a time, or were you all in the back of your mind thinking we can be state champs? Nate?
Coach Thomas was always a one game out of a time type of coach. Just 1 week at a time, watch your film on that team, get through the week, and then after Friday, then you move on to the next opponent. So it's just one game at a time.
But you knew you had the confidence to be state champs, Tiyon.
Yeah, going into the season, I definitely, I was telling all my friends and everyone that I knew we were going to win a state championship. I was that confident. But, as you said, going through the season, you take it game by game. But, just seeing the group of kids we had, all the athletes he had, the coaching staff, I just knew that we were going to go far in the playoffs and win a state championship. I was
Yeah, and the team really bonded together, Coach. I thought they really were a close-knit group from what I could observe from a distance. What was your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, that was evident. I mean, they've been playing together since they were in midget football,
League,
you
yeah.
know, and so you could tell that they wanted it. They just had that hunger and desire that it's something you can't coach. You know what I mean? They came out there every day, worked hard, put the time and the effort in, and you know, upstanding kids in the classroom as well. I mean, I think they're both honor students here, so it just all transferred on the field. So yeah, I mean that bond you can't break.
That's very important, and especially in a team sport, and especially in football. So they're both going on to play college football. They're both going nearby in Rowan University, play for a great program and a great coach in Coach Accorsi. We talked a little bit before the show. What are you looking forward to in the challenge of college, Nate?
I'm ready to balance the school and football. I'm actually excited for that challenge.
Tell everybody what your interest is in academically.
So I want to go to study exercise science and then eventually become a physical therapist. So I'm going to have to balance football and school. So that's going to be tough, but I'm ready for it.
Well, that's great, and they have an excellent program, and you'll be able to, take the courses that you need to be able to, to get that done. And Tiyon?
I'm going to study exercise science as well. I want to go into the medical field, like the physical therapist or athletic training type field. And going into college, I'm ready to compete because, I've been scouting the DBs, going in. I think I got a pretty fair shot to start my freshman year, so I'm just hungry to go in there and show them what I could do because, I think I could take that spot my freshman year, so I'm ready.
Well, we're going to be watching both of you young men, and I know that both of you bring not only outstanding athletic ability, but as Coach said, high character. And every coach in America wants high character and wants people that are going to work hard, team players, and you guys have demonstrated that through your entire career. Coach, any words to these young men as they go on into college?
Just continue to do it. I mean, if they just do what they do, they'll be fine. I mean, to be honest, I think they're smart individuals. They know what they need to do. Their work ethic is just undescribable. So I mean, as long as they stay that course, they're gonna find the success that they want. Like he thinks he could go in with his work ethic. He's gonna do what he has to do. Nate's gonna do what he has to do. Nate's an amazing quarterback. He's smart. So he's gonna show them right off the bat that he can play at that level.
Yeah, and they're both not afraid of competition,
No,
and
not at all.
that's what the name of the game is. Nate and I were talking about the number of quarterbacks in that quarterback room, and there's going to be competition. And next year, when you're a sophomore, they'll bring some more in, and it just that's what they do. And especially at the college level, where you can choose who you bring in, but there's no doubt with your competitiveness and the type of character that you guys have that you'll continue to do that. Well, let's shift gears for a moment. Tell us a little bit about your summer. I know what you're doing, Nate, but why don't you tell everybody else how hard you're working?
I've been working with my dad, helping him with the oyster business in Port Norris, and I just load the truck during the week. Like every weekday, I load the truck at midnight. A guy comes up from Virginia, and I just have to load the oysters in the truck. So I've been busy with that all summer, and then time with my friends, my girlfriend. Just been out a lot, staying busy.
Staying busy. Well, listen, I'll pump your dad up a little bit here. I newspaper reporter that covered us back in the 80s gave me a whole stack of sports pages. And so I went through very diligently, and I cut out every article for the Thunderbolt Club of every sport. And my wife kept, what's taking you so long? Well, I'm reading all the articles. Brought back memories of Coach Ingling, who coached your father, and I actually have some pictures I meant to show you earlier to see whether it really was your dad, because Mr. Ingling kind of thought it wasn't, but there was a picture of your dad in there, and of course all the other the other sports teams from back in the 80s brought back a lot of memories. But your dad was was one heck of a good athlete at at Millville. Now he's working real hard at the oyster business. And how about you, Todd?
I've been trying to just stay at the house, keep myself busy. Me and Nate, we've been in the weight room working on stuff that we lack, trying to get stronger to make up for my size, trying to put on weight, working on my technique and stuff just so I can build the areas that I feel like that I'm weak in, and really just been working, trying to get money for college so I can survive, and that's just really been it, just been weight room.
And you guys been throwing the ball.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
team workouts, separate workouts. We're just trying to come in and get a fair shot, get an advantage on everybody.
And you've been up at Rowan working?
Yeah, we've had team workouts with just the players.
And 7-on-7s up there?
Yeah.
And things?
Yeah, we've had like 2 7-on-7s. One got canceled because of the rain, but yeah, we've had 2. All the players go up there, and then we had our physical, so all the new freshmen, incoming freshmen, were there getting their physical done.
We talked a little bit, too, about the beautiful campus now at Rowan University that wasn't there. Have you been up there, Bert?
Well, I mean, I live down the road.
Oh, yeah.
So I live in Pittman, so I'm right down the road.
You're right down the road.
I mean, it's the changes that have been made are amazing.
Yeah, just incredible. I mean, I was there in the 70s, and
it wasn't like that when I went
2 or
there
3
either,
buildings,
so, yeah.
and wasn't like that. So the facilities are really first class. And now, do you have your courses all for next year? Are you all set?
Yeah, we got everything set.
And when do classes start?
September 4th or 6th. I know it's beginning of September.
Yeah,
They start.
September 4th.
And football starts
August 10th, the
10th.
day we move in.
the day
Yeah.
August 10th. So
Yeah.
you got a lot of time. The one good thing about playing a fall sport in college is you get on campus. You get to interact with a lot of your teammates. You kind of know the deal a little bit before the official start of practice. So how do you think the Thunderbolts will do this year? You guys are now alumni. So what do you think? What do you think Coach Ayala's team's going to do?
I'm gonna be honest.
Now he's right next to you.
I'm gonna be honest. They didn't lose much, so they had our team was a lot of sophomores and freshmen and juniors, so they're very young. They didn't lose many of us. They still got athletes. They still got a good quarterback behind them. So I think they're gonna be good. They're gonna go far. I want them to win another state championship, but right now they gotta prove it to me that they can win it. So once the games start.
Yeah.
But as of right now, they're
that.
definitely, no doubt in my mind, they're going to repeat what we did last year.
Keep the tradition going.
Yeah, no doubt in my mind.
What are your thoughts, Nate?
I'm ready to see them against out-of-state team first game. Kind of what we did last year, but Union was still in Jersey, but they're still far, so we haven't played them before. I'm ready to see what they can do against people from out of state
New
and
competition.
let people know what Jersey football is about.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to have Coach talk a little bit about the schedule in a moment, but that's it's exciting to take on that schedule. The team last year only stumbled once against a great team. The Prep was a great team, but from a distance, I didn't think we played our best. What do you think? Take nothing away from the Prep, but I just didn't think that was our best game.
No, that definitely was not our best game. Offense, we didn't really get anything clicking. We had a couple drives, but the defense, Tiyon, you can talk about
Yeah,
the
defensively, we didn't have a complete game plan. We just went in kind of thinking our heads were big. We came off 2 big wins. We thought we were going to go in, do what we do. But they showed us real quick that it wasn't going to be that easy, and we just couldn't get it together in time. But we did stumble, but after that, it was firing on all cylinders. So sometimes you kind of need that, but it wasn't our best game. We didn't play our best, but I think our heads were way too big. It was a reality check.
Yeah, it's really hard to go undefeated because of a number of circumstances. Coach, what do you think of that game? Do you recall the performance?
I think, to piggyback on what they said in the sense that we were kind of feeling ourselves a little bit, which is fine. You want teams to have their swag and their confidence going into it. But I think that game was lost in the trenches. They had their defensive line had 3 Division I defensive line guys. It was hard to get a push. It was hard to get penetration on their offensive line because they all played on the offensive line. So you're in it's hard. It's in trouble. So they had success running the ball.
And we had some young kids.
They
up
had
front.
success running the ball.
We had young kids up front.
And we were lighting the tail, and they had probably like 800 pounds of weight between, 3-4 guys. So it was hard to get that push. I mean, we fought, but not the way we could have. And I think St. Aug's also had a chip on their shoulder from the previous year because we beat them, because they came in light on us that year, and we took it to them, and so they came in ready for that game. I think the media wanted that game. Everybody did. So.
Well, the testimony to your team was, you didn't let that defeat linger, and you bounced right back, and of course went on to win every game and win a state title. So you can't do better than that. That's pretty good. So how about some goals for your freshman year of college? Do you have any goals that you've set?
Yeah, actually, my first goal is to go in and get in the depth chart. I want to make my name known, so even if I don't get that spot yet, that coaches are looking at me like this kid's probably gonna be the guy. And I also want to be able to balance. I want to have a balanced schedule that I want to follow, so I don't get overwhelmed or just feeling like I can't do it. So I'm gonna try to have a balanced lifestyle in college. That's my main goal.
That's a great point, isn't it, Coach?
Yeah.
The balanced lifestyle, especially academically. In college you get so caught up in playing football.
Yeah.
And it's harder in college to catch up if you fall behind academically.
Yeah, I wanna be
that's a
organized.
terrific. I think that's a terrific point to make and to have as a goal.
It's all on them to wake up. And, they don't got mom and dad to shrug it. They got to get up. They got to walk to class. They got to walk to practice. So.
Especially you get those 8 o'clock classes and stay up too
They're
late.
gonna have all early classes too. I bet you do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause
Early
it's
and
got
late.
it's got to balance out with football.
Yeah, early or late.
Yeah.
Any goals, Nate?
My main goal is probably to set my priorities straight, get everything that I need to get done, and make a list, all planned out of everything that I need to do for school, when I need to be in the weight room, when I need to be doing football stuff, when I need to be watching film and all that stuff. I just want to have a plan of everything that I can envision.
That's another great answer. To set your priorities and have a list of things, and that way you don't forget things. You won't be like me. My wife gives me this list and I lose it, and then I don't get things done that I need to get done, you young guys are smarter than me, so you'll put that list together and you'll get things done that you need to get done. Any last comments you want to make about your teammates that you played with last year? Or let's talk about them first. Your teammates from last year. Do you see many of them? Or
yeah, I actually have hung out with a lot of them. Bowman and Quinn Allen. I've been hanging out with them. We just went to beat-ups the other night. We got together.
Oh, that's great.
Tiyon came and a couple other
and
kids.
how's LeQuint doing at Syracuse? You like it?
Yeah, he's saying he liked it a lot. When did he start camp? Was it just today?
I think he left.
Yeah,
the other day.
he's doing
he
great
just
up there.
started camp today.
And what a great thing he did with the camp that he ran at the Midget League program,
Yeah.
giving back to the kids and having all the kids, look up to him as a player of the year in New Jersey. You can't get much better than that.
Yeah.
But those guys are teammates for life, man. When you do what you guys did and win a state title, the old buzzards that I coach, they still get together and talk about every doggone play. And
I'm assuming
in the
that'll be
games.
the team that gets nominated to Hall of Fame team, right? Or
Oh
something
yeah,
like that,
absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
Well, first of all, they're in because at
Yeah.
some point you got to wait. I forget what the wait is. 15
10
years,
years, 15, 17.
Yeah, whatever it is. But you're automatically in because we take state titleists in automatically. We don't even vote on it. They go in. So I don't know, man. That's a long time for me. I hope I'm around to see that. But no, you'll definitely be in the you'll be in the Hall of Fame at some time. Any other players, Ty, that you hung around with this summer?
Yeah, I've been hanging out with everybody. I catch them when they're at work and stuff, getting their work in. But I just wanted to say to all of them that I'm proud of them, really proud of them. We did something special last year. And for the returning players, I want y'all to go back to back. We counting on y'all.
That'd be nice, huh? Back to back.
We got
I
to
know
make
Coach
a
would like
statement.
that.
Gotta make a statement, let everyone know it wasn't a fluke. Please don't show them that it wasn't a fluke. So that's all I really want to say. I was proud of everyone. And
Who, and Coach, maybe you can chime in too. Which guys from last year are going to? We'll come back. We're going to take a break, and we'll come back with that right after these messages.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
In South Jersey, we do things our own way. We say things out loud, face things head on, and never back down. And that's how we fight cancer. With the most advanced diagnostics, leading-edge technology, and a team of doctors who know how to treat your cancer. And most importantly, we do it right here at the Frank and Edith Scarpa Cancer Center, Vineland, and the Leading Edge Cancer Center, Mullica Hill.
Complete Care Health Network has some big news to share with you.
We're here opening more locations and offering more services every day,
including our newest locations on Pearl Street in Bridgeton and High Street in Millville.
We're here with convenient, high-quality, and accessible healthcare services all under one roof.
We're here just a call or an email away.
We're here to provide compassionate care for you and your family.
We're here and we're ready when you are.
Complete Care Health Network, ready when you are.
I chose DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home because they treated me with respect and compassion. I couldn't have gone through all this if I didn't have DeMarco Luisi by my side. They did everything that they could to make me happy, and that was important to me and my kids.
At the DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, we're here for you and your family in your time of need.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Sports Talk. I'm Tony Surace here with outstanding former Millville football players, Nate Robbins and Tiyon Cephas, along with our new head football coach, Bert Aiella. And we were talking right before we broke about some of the former players as well that were outstanding and are in college. And of course, one was the Gatorade Player of the Year, Quinn Allen, and you guys were talking about him a little bit. How big he is, Tiyon?
Yeah, he got huge. Syracuse, whatever they're feeding him, they got him huge.
How big is he, do you know?
He's probably about like 6'1", 200 now. And when he left, he was probably like 5'11", 175, and it's crazy whatever they're doing to him.
About freshman,
right? Freshman, yeah. Freshman.
Have you seen him, Coach?
I've seen him. And I mean, I was just shocked. Like, geez, what the heck? Like, did they stretch him out or?
And he had a great spring, right?
Yeah, real good. Yeah, because he played in that one game on the ACC network, scored a touchdown in the orange and white scrimmage.
Spring game.
Yeah, spring game. Yep.
So who else do we have in college that? Caleb Bowman. Yeah, he was our outside linebacker and one of our receivers. He's going to Post University.
Are you going to play football?
Yeah, he's playing football.
Yeah, what a great athlete. I mean, I saw him several times in basketball, and he wasn't the leading scorer, but, man, he was a great defender and a great team player. And
everybody remembers that hit he had in the Winslow game on that quarterback. Yeah,
that was one to remember. Yeah, you're right, Coach. Yeah. You're right. And he'll be going to Post University
he's going to
and playing football. Anybody else comes to mind?
George Gonzalez, one of our middle linebackers and one of our offensive linemen. He's going to Post University with Bowman as well. And then
you have Clayton Scott there too.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't with us, but that's where he wound up.
Okay. Is he there now?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Good. Yeah, he was a heck of a running back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then we have Joe Capugnan. He was one of our linebackers. He was one of our best guys on our special team. He's actually going to Rowan University too, but he's not playing football. He's focusing on his academics. And then we have Tyler McKnight. I don't know where he's going to college, but I know he just recently decided where he's going to continue his academic career. And then Jaden Wright. He's not continuing his career in college, but he just got a job now. He's actually doing really well. He's making good money.
Good.
You know, he's trying to further his career in that path. And I'm pretty sure that's all our guys. We're all doing something perfect. Jenkins, he's going to college too. He's going to Stockton. And yeah, our senior group was special. We're productive. Everyone's like into something, which I'm very proud of too.
Absolutely, yeah, it's wonderful. And I think a lot of credit has to go certainly to Coach Thomas and the great job that he's done in not only winning football games, but the type of young men that he's developed, and he just gave testimony to so many of the seniors that aren't with us. Tell the audience a little bit about what Coach Thomas meant to you, Nate.
Coach Thomas was like a father figure on the football field. He was always there for you. Anything you needed, go to him. Just real personable, always open, ready for conversation. And then he always made sure we had our stuff straight. In school, always busting us about grades, getting our work in. And, yeah, he was just always there for us.
Well, I know your freshman year, I don't know if you'll remember this or not, but I had known that, that you were going to be coming to Millville. And again, Coach Enling coached your dad, and he said, keep an eye out for Nate. He's only a freshman. So we're feeding you at the Thunderbolt Club. And I said to Coach Thomas, is Nate Robbins here? It's that little guy over there. I went over and I said hello to you. But when I came back, Coach said, he is going to be a good one. He said, he's only a freshman now, but he is going to be really good, smart, does everything you ask him to do, works hard. He's going to be a really good player. And, of course, the next year you started, right, your sophomore year. So Coach was very prolific in that statement. Ty, what does he mean to you?
Coach Thomas, he was someone who changed my life. He was on the football field, a very smart coach. He got things done, but most importantly, off the field, that's all he cared about. He just wanted to mold us into great young men. Football was the second thing, but like growing us up to be mature, good characters, that was his main goal, and he was really good at doing that. Always taking us out of class, asking us like if we're getting our work done, if we need any help, texting him. He's someone you can go to for anything because he's honest with you. He'll be honest with you. He's not gonna sugarcoat anything. He's gonna give it to you like how it is. Yeah. So he's someone that you can always go to for anything. If you need some, go to him. But he's someone who changed my life forever. He meant a lot to me. He did.
That's a tremendous testimony. I know again from afar that he has done, and you guys just talked about it, but remarkable work that he's done to have the players go on to college, whether they played football or not. He was part of their, advancement, and he understood the importance of his players, going on and getting a degree. So he worked very hard at that, and so we're very thankful to have him in Millville for the time we did the work he did. Coach, I know you worked with him, so what are your thoughts about Coach Thomas? We're going to praise him a little bit here in this segment.
No, I love the man. I mean, I was just talking to him last night, seeing how family was doing. I know he was actually moving up there today towards Rutgers, I learned a lot from the guy. I mean, learned how to maintain poise, or learned how to, do what I'm doing now. So I don't know. It's like there's not enough words to describe. I mean, because he was a good guy. He meant well. He understood how to run a program. He understood what needed to go in to make a program successful, and he put the program on the path that it's on. And that's why we're moving in the direction we're moving. So I mean, everything stemmed from his work and his efforts, and and he understood the importance of molding these young men into positive people to go on to the next level.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a very special coach in in a lot of ways. I remember when when he first came to Millville, reached out to him as I did to you, Bert, and said, "Look, anything you need from the Thunderbolt Club, or I can provide for you. We have a great tradition here. We want the tradition to continue." In fact, share an old time story with you guys. I was talking to Coach Andrews today, and one of the teams that's going in our Hall of Fame this year is the 1917 football team. 301 points scored, 0 given up.
Yeah, you're talking about that. 0.
So, Coach was at the historical site, Coach Andrews, Historical Society today, and getting a picture of that 1917 team. I'm not sure anybody's still with us from that team, but maybe some heirs are, or, some relatives. But when you look at that and you think about the tradition that goes way back into the 1800s and, continues till today. And like any school, we've had a few slips here and there, but for the most part, great tradition, great support. People in town, we went over to Manny's and had a bite to eat, and the waitress recognized these guys right away. Mm-hmm. Her son's a freshman?
Sophomore.
Dwayne Ames.
Ames.
Okay, yeah.
And, recognize these guys, right away. I said, look, play football in Millville, man. People know who you are, and that's a good thing most of the time. You do something you shouldn't do, that's not so good because they'll recognize you, right away. But looking forward to watching you guys. Rowan, the coach was talking off the air, getting, your schedule and, having guys go up there and see you. The one nice thing about being at Rowan, you're close, your family can see you, and you only be freshmen, and you play it by ear and see how much playing time you can get. But I think it'll be exciting for all your fans back here in Millville to follow your careers and follow the careers. Listen, everybody's going to follow LeQuint, follow Bowman, and follow all the guys that are that are continuing to play college football. It's you think it's the greatest 4 years of your life in high school, but you go into college and play and have success, that bond is even greater. And I'll tell you why, because you're older. Now you've solidified a friendship with guys that are 19, 20, 21, 22, and that becomes an even greater friendship. So you have your high school friends, and then you have these college friends that'll be with you for life. So it's a pleasure to have you guys on the show. You've meant a lot to Millville football. You mean a lot to the community, and mostly with what Coach said, because you're not just great football players, you're great people. And you do the right things. You're a great role models for all the young people out there. Anybody that's listening, go to YouTube and replay it again for your son or your neighbor that that's coming up in sports, regardless of the sports. Go to class, work hard, do the best you can, like these guys did, and the future's very, very bright. So I want to thank you. With that, George, we're going to take a break, and we will come back with Coach Ayala. We good, George? All right.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Complete Care Health Network has some big news to share with you.
We're here opening more locations and offering more services every day,
including our newest locations in Bridgeton and Millville.
We're here, and we're ready when you are.
Complete Care Health Network.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
In South Jersey, we do things our own way. We say things out loud, face things head on, and never back down. And that's how we fight cancer. With the most advanced diagnostics, leading-edge technology, and a team of doctors who know how to treat your cancer. And most importantly, we do it right here at the Frank and Edith Scarpa Cancer Center, Vineland, and the Leading Edge Cancer Center, Mullica Hill.
Complete Care Health Network has some big news to share with you.
We're here opening more locations and offering more services every day,
including our newest locations on Pearl Street in Brixton and High Street in Millville.
We're here with convenient, high-quality, and accessible healthcare services all under one roof.
We're here just a call or an email away.
We're here to provide compassionate care for you and your family.
We're here and we're ready when you are.
Complete Care Health Network. Ready when you are.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Tony Surace. Welcome back to Sports Talk. We have the new head football coach, Millville High School, Bert Aiella. Huberto Ayala goes by Bert. And I'm going to ask Bert to, first of all, give a little background, Bert, if you would, of, you talked at the Thunderbolt Club last night and filled us in, your background, where you're from, and where you've coached, and up to date to now.
All right. Well, I'm originally from North Jersey, Hudson County area. Went to North Bergen High School. Played football my whole life. Didn't have the success I would have liked in high school, which is fine. Went down to Rowan University and studied health and exercise science to become a phys ed teacher. Always had intentions of coaching, and coaching at as high of a level as I can ever get, once I came down to Rowan, I liked South Jersey and didn't have a desire to go back up into the hustle and bustle of the city. So I stayed down this way, and I've been living in South Jersey for the last 20 plus years. So as far as coaching wise, I was a teacher and I coached out in Camden for 12 years. I was at Woodrow Wilson for about 5 or 6 years, as a head basketball coach and football coach as well. Made my venture off into basketball for a little bit. Was a head coach at Pennsauken for a period of time. Then went assisted at Williamstown, and then got a call from Dennis Thomas and asked if I wanted to come back in this way as a football coach, and I came to, and wound up being coaching girls basketball for the last 4 years here as well. And I've been coaching football with Coach Thomas for the last 5 years. Last 3 years, being up in the box, helping out and assisting from the offensive side.
So this is your 6th year in Millville?
Coming up, yes.
Coming up into your 6th year. So you kind of know the lay of the land and, been an assistant. And I know I watched your girls basketball team play. How long were you the head girls coach?
4 years.
So you had 4 years, followed Coach Kessler?
Yes.
And so you know the deal being a head coach and all the things you gotta do being a head coach.
Yeah. But football's magnified.
I was just going to say.
You be a head basketball coach, you're managing 30, 40 kids compared to now like 80 to 100. Yeah.
Yep. And all the issues that that might come with that. But that's quite an extensive background, and I know. As soon as you got the job, you were very excited and looking forward, to the challenges ahead, and you were raring to go. And so with that, George, can you put the schedule up there? So we're gonna talk a little bit about the schedule, but before we do, talk quickly about your scrimmages that are coming up. And I know you're working out with the kids in the summer. Officially, when do you start?
The official date for everybody is next Wednesday. That's when we start our acclimatization period, as far as with helmets first, and then So.
And then your first scrimmage?
Our first scrimmage is the following Wednesday against Middletown in Delaware, which they were a state championship team out there. They're you heard the guys talking before.
They're the real deal.
Yeah, well, so listen, they're excited about it because they're bringing Jersey football down to Delaware, and we're getting an opportunity to play a quality team too as well.
Yeah, you don't get much out of scrimmaging a weak opponent.
No, not at all
for the next game. So that's good. And what's the second scrimmage?
We have Salem. So Salem, well-coached football team. I know it's a Group 1, but it doesn't matter because they're tough. Always have athletes.
Did they win?
They won state.
They won a state title last year.
Yep, they won it too. They won it too. And that's where Dennis Thomas was.
Right,
and that's where he's from. So
Jonathan Taylor.
and Jonathan Taylor. Yep.
And a whole bunch of other guys that
so
are
the
from
tradition
Salem.
down there is big too. And
so
we play them at home Saturday. I think it's the 21st, I want to say, and that's at 12. That should be at 12 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay, so we're down the regular season schedule now, and you open up in the Battle at the Beach.
Yeah, Battle at the Beach.
Tell us a little bit about Thomas Jefferson.
As much as I saw on TV, they're a power team, the power football team, very, somewhat similar to Shawnee, maybe with not all the passing in them. So, they're going to be big up front. They're a well-coached team as well. They're a top-notch program out there. So,
are they from Philadelphia?
No, they're from the Pittsburgh area. So they're traveling. They're traveling.
They are traveling.
Listen, as you see our schedule there, we're playing the best of the best. So we will be battle tested.
Yeah, that's a tough opener, boy. They're really good. And then you go up to Rutgers and play in the Battle of the Raritan. What's that called?
Battle of the Raritan. Yes, yep. And we're playing another amazing program because they were the Group 4 North Regional champs last year. So technically, we would have this year we would have played them in a true state championship.
Right, if you played it out. Yeah. Go back to Thomas Jefferson. That Sunday, 8:28. That's at 11 a.m.
11 a.m. Yep, it's an early one.
At Ocean City High School, Cary Stadium. Irvington at Rutgers. What time is that?
7 o'clock, and that's on a Friday. So you see the turnaround time is very short.
And I know a lot of people that went up to the state championship game because I heard from a lot of them. The traffic up north is a little crazy. Up in the New Brunswick area, and on a Friday, if you're 7 o'clock game.
Yeah.
So if you're going to that game, you might want to tailgate early and get up to that game. It'll be
and they do a great
exciting.
job. They do a great job up there. The atmosphere is just amazing. For the kids to experience playing in that kind of a situation is just a great feeling.
Yeah, the hope and prayer is that we get to the state games, that we can have another game at Rutgers, but every kid will get a chance to play on the stadium at Rutgers. It's a great opportunity, no question about it. And then the third game of the year, Coach.
You got Williamstown, so another well-coached program. Another, football's their thing. I think they were a program that went back-to-back in the Group 5 a couple years ago.
And they were down a little bit last year, so they're hungry.
One of the kids on that team a couple years ago, because I remember we beat them. I think it was, I want to say it was Clayton Scott's last year, the senior year. So it was 2017. We beat them in the regular season, then we saw them in the playoffs. It was like the coldest game I've ever coached in. And we beat them there, so they had a chip on their shoulder. They came in and beat us like 2 years in a row, and they had that one defensive end, Aaron Lewis.
Yeah.
And now he's at Rutgers, real big, tough guy. But they're gonna be a tough. They're a well coached program, so they have athletes.
So you got three tough ones right in a row, and then you got a patsy.
Yeah, well, then we right. There's nothing patsy about St. Albans.
No, nothing. No,
you got to respect the game. And
absolutely,
respect who they are,
absolutely. Great program. Coach Lancetta's done a great job there,
yes.
And I haven't studied their roster, but my goodness, they had so many Division I players. They have to take a little step back, maybe, but not much. I'm sure they're still.
Well, they're going to always
good.
have players, but they lost that D line, and listen, they do a great job coaching, so they'll fill in. But that's always anything you lose. Like what we had here, the guys we had here, that's a loss, and we have to build from there. So, but yeah, they'll be fine.
Yeah, you reload, right? You just reload. So then you have Lenape.
Yep. Well, we we have every school in Malton, let's say minus Seneca. So Lenape's, all those schools out there in that Lenape Regional School District are tough. So Lenape's going to be well coached. They're going to be ready for the battle.
And I had several people calling me, Coach, saying, "How come we got to go to Lenape and Shawnee back to back like we did last year?" My answer was, it's the West Jersey Football League. It's not, you get the schedule and you play who's on it, and you can't moan about it. It is what it is. It's a shame, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. Listen, if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and we got the opportunity to play the best. So,
well, it'll be certainly a huge challenge for our kids. There's no patsies on there, and a team that was a bugaboo for me all the years I coached, and they're always tough, is Ocean City. And, you played them in the playoffs last year. You really handled them. They didn't play as tough a schedule as we did, and so they were, not up to the challenge in the playoffs. But we'll just have to see, I guess, where they are. I know they're not talking to some people down there. I didn't talk to their coach, but I talked to some people that know their program well. And, they're going to play who they on their schedule, but they would rather not play Millville because they have a lot of respect for us in our program.
Yeah.
And then you have Cherokee.
Yep, and then we have Cherokee there. Can't forget about Shawnee up top. That's always a battle, too, on 10-7.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Let it be at Shawnee, and then
Shawnee, and then
Ocean City.
And then Cherokee. They got that stud running back. I forget his name offhand. He's like one of the top-ranked running backs in the state right now. Yeah, so Cherokee's going to be another battle. It's another battle.
Now, all the Millville home games are 6:00.
Yes, that's what they are.
And most, if not all, of the away games are 7:00.
Yep. Every Lenape's always at 7. Shawnee's at 7. Cherokee's home.
I guess that's it.
Yeah, that's it. And then
those two games will be at 7:00.
And then the week after Cherokee is first round of playoffs.
Right. George and I were kind of talking about that before, and I said you'd explain that. So October 21st is our last scheduled regular season game besides Vineland. So now there's a 3-week period.
Yep.
Between that. So why don't you explain to the audience a little bit about how the state playoffs work?
It'll be a snake situation. So you have your, based on PowerPoints and strength and how they calculate it. I couldn't even get it to that. That's a process within itself. But, that puts you in a category from Central and South Jersey teams, and then they snake it. So, the number 1 team is number 1 South. The number 2 team becomes the number 1 in Central, and then it goes vice versa. It goes back and forth, just like that. So, we wind up playing based on who's in our South, and then the winner of whoever wins out South, which is like last year we beat Ocean City in the South, we would play the winner of Central, which would brought us to Winslow.
Mm-hmm.
But this year we would play that game, and then the winner of that South Central game would play a regional game, and then you would play the winner of North 1, North 2.
So you play it all the way out.
Yeah.
Which is what the New Jersey football coaches for years have been trying to, to lobby to get. And, the season starts early. The season ends potentially late in December, early December. And we'll stay just with that part of the schedule. We won't talk about Vineland yet, but with that part of the schedule, do you like that playoff format? Is question number 1. And number 2 is our hopes and dreams and whatever plans are to get into the playoffs. If you don't, do you have a consolation game?
Yes, they do have consolation games. But when you get those consolation games, then there's a huge layoff. If you only get a consolation game, there's a huge layoff until your Thanksgiving game, which would be a challenge, trying to.
So there'd still be 3 weeks.
Say you happen to lose that first playoff game, which is the last week of October. Now you have 3 weeks until Thanksgiving game. So that challenge trying to get kids to get ready
instead of the normal 10 days.
So,
that's
rough.
That's kind of a down. It's great if you're in the playoffs, and when you talked about snaking the South and Central, it's 16 teams, right?
Yeah.
So there are 16 teams that get in. So a quick history lesson for you young guys. Playoffs came in 1974. There were 2 teams in from each region. 75, they made 4 teams, and it stayed that way till the 90s, 96 or somewhere in that area. Then they expanded it to 8. And now, of course, the Coaches Association fighting hard to get a true state champion in football. It's expanded now to 16 teams. Part of me says, and I haven't studied it a whole lot, that if you're not one of the 16, your kids kind of have a long wait to play, and it kind of doesn't help you if you're one of the 16. And hopefully, we will always be at least one of the top 16 teams. But you never know. Sometimes these things with talent go in cycles, and you end up without it. But it is what it is, and that's the way the schedule is. It's just like playing Lenape and Shawnee back to back away, and driving up to the Indian schools. But let's talk for a moment then and get off the state tournament games. You play Ocean City on October 23rd. Then you have a state game, potentially another state game, and then
it's Thanksgiving.
And then Thanksgiving.
And then after Thanksgiving would be the actual state championship.
Right, would be the actual state championship. So talk a little bit about something that's near and dear to the heart of many of us in Millville, which is that team up north, just north of us, Vineland. And we've done pretty well the last couple of years. So I think you understand how important that is to the people in Millville.
Oh yeah, I'm big on rivals. Period. Like I love rivals. So I understand what it means, and I understand how important it is. So obviously, regardless of what the situation is the following week, our game prep would be, straight up like it's a championship game, because we want to go in there and and continue the history and keeping that trophy at home.
Good. Close that gap, man. We were close to getting that.
Listen, my first couple of years here, they handed it to us. So my first couple of years here, they handed it to us. But we've had ours back. I mean, they're a strong program, but our goal is to always, take it to the red team, since we're called the Orange.
That's good to hear, and keep the tradition going of winning. But we always approached it, the same way, Coach, that we had the regular season, we had the playoffs, and then we had Vineland. So you always had to look at that game as a game unto itself. If you approach it any other way, then the kids really sometimes weren't as ready as they should be. And listen, I got to tell you, I coached and head coach in 25 of them, and I didn't have them ready all the time. And I look back and said, man, I should have approached it a little bit differently. And we thought they were ready, and we laid an egg, and you never know.
Was it because of a layoff or something between?
No. Interestingly enough, in 75, when there were 4 teams, you only had 2 games. You had a semifinal state game and then a championship. So the semifinal was on a Saturday. Thanksgiving was Thursday, right afterwards, and then the state championship was not the next Saturday, but the following Saturday, right? So in between that semifinal and Vineland was, only 4 days, and I was worried about the kids' recovery time and, being ready. So I really wanted to move that game to Saturday, and oh boy, did I hear the wrath from everybody, Millville and Vineland both. You can't move that game, it's Thanksgiving. We always play on Thanksgiving. 90 or 90, well, there are two instances we did not play on Thanksgiving. In 81, both teams were tied, both Millville and Vineland, with all the criteria for the 4th spot in the playoffs. So the last criteria is flip a coin. So nobody wanted to flip a coin to decide who's going to play in the tournament. So we had a conference call. We didn't have Zoom back then, conference call with both ADs. And we all agreed that we would play the Thanksgiving Day game Saturday, winner take all. Winner wins the conference, winner goes to the playoffs.
Oh, jeez.
Bert, I'm going to give you a little history here. We were up 15-0. And in the 4th quarter, with 5 minutes to go, it was 15-8. And then in the fourth quarter, with like 30 seconds to go, it was 15-14.
Oh, jeez.
Man, that's why I got gray hair, white hair. But we ended up getting in the playoffs that year, and then we didn't play on Thanksgiving. And then the next time was we had a torrential, whatever, call it, snowstorm, had about 1.5 feet of snow, and they postponed that game. Actually, they got the field ready to play, but the roads were so bad, so we moved that game to a Saturday. But those are probably the only 2 times recently.
I think we moved it during COVID too, didn't we?
Oh, you may have. Yes, that's right.
I think we wound up playing like on a Saturday because of COVID.
Because of COVID, yes. No, you're right about that. I remember that.
Yeah.
I forgot because I wasn't directly involved, but I remember that. So, yeah, there have been instances when that occurs. But, Thanksgiving is kind of, football, turkey, it kind of all goes together. And people come out to the game. They still, a lot of reunions, a lot of alumni, because it's a holiday and people can come back. Yeah. Alumni can come back, and it works out much better from that standpoint. But I wish you well on that aspect of it. So, talk a little bit about your team and who you've got coming back. I know we'll start out with the offense because I know you're an offensive guy, but talk a little bit about your personnel on offense.
I think we have. I want to say I was just doing because I was doing the write up for the reporters. So I think we have 6 returning starters. So returning starters from last year, which is solid in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So we have, on the offensive line, we have Darian. We have I can't say his name, Blachowicz. We have Marcus Offer. You have Edison Andino. So you have 3 returning starting offensive linemen. Our offensive line is going to be, I think, a powerhouse this year. I think we're going to be able to move that ball and move that line because we have a lot of weight on that line. Then we have as also returning at wide receiver. You have Teron Hale on your left side. You have Latsier Brooks on the right. And then you have Thomas Smith in slot, who was also a starter last year. So we have 3 returning starting wide receivers. And then as far as new additions, you have in the backfield right now. I can't tell you because they're competing for spots. In our other slot spot, we have guys competing there as well. We got a new transfer in. We got other guys that have been around. So everybody's jockeying for that spot there. At the offensive line, we're fighting for that other guard spot as well. Tackle-wise, we're looking at Kevin White, to assist us. He was our DN last year. So, and then you have Jacob Samat as our quarterback.
And we talked a little bit about Jacob, but he has a lot of potential.
Yes, a lot of potential. He's got a strong arm.
He's a junior?
He's a junior. His brother's playing at Stony Brook. His brother played at Holy Spirit, St. Aug's. He's a smart young man, strong arm, understands the game. He hasn't played because he's behind Nate, but he sat the 2 years patiently, just observing, watching, just waiting for his opportunity. He knows his opportunities now, so he's ready to take the reins and do it. And he showed some really positive things in the 7-on-7s that we played in.
And you learned at the foot of the master, so we're going to be wide open and pitching and catching.
I'm a little bit more pass happy, but Dennis liked to run the ball, but we'll keep the balance because he taught me and made me understand that and listen, it makes you much more of a threat, that dual threat.
Yeah, when you can do both, but I know in the past with all that talent with Brooks and Hale and Smith and Zaman at quarterback, get the ball to those guys in open space, and they're special.
Mm-hmm. It's all about that yak.
Yeah, they're special. They can really put a lot of pressure on the defense. So it was exciting football in the last several years. To watch these guys perform. So defensively, how do we stack up?
So we lost our whole defensive line, so we're competing there. I'm sorry, I lie about that because Kevin White comes back because Kevin White's only a junior and he was a starting defensive lineman there.
Well, didn't Offer and Blazowicz play a little bit?
They did. They rotated in, but they were behind Jaden Wright and Elijah Edwards,
Correct.
Who only played on the off defensive side of the ball.
Right.
So they saw the bulk of the reps. If they repped out, it was because maybe long drives or whatever the case may be. Linebacker-wise, you bring back Kean German. You got Solomon Kent. You have Jamal Wallace in the mix, who started at times last year. And if you remember, his dad is Jamal Wallace.
Sure do know his dad, Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I know. We got new bolts outside. We got our new outside linebackers that we're still looking to see who it is. Right now, we're looking at a couple guys like Brasier and Tehran. Corner, you have Latsier Brooks again. He started last year, obviously, and then I think towards the middle of the season, Tiyon Conyers, he was a starter.
Yes.
And now we're just the jockey spot, and what we're fighting for is seeing who's going to compete for that last corner spot. It's about like four guys fighting for that. So I told our guys the other day, if you get the opportunity to play at the next level, you look to the left and the right of you, the guy's just as good as you. So you better go in there and compete every day. We're pretty much in that situation, which is very fortunate. Our depth is, our twos are can play just as well as our ones.
And that's great. Competition brings out there's the best. And, it's interesting because I told both Nate and Tiyon going to the next level about that same type of competition they're going to face, in college.
Yeah.
It's very competitive. In high school, sometimes you don't get it, but you're fortunate enough to have that. How about the kicking game real quick?
Well, you have Jaden Reyna, so we bring back our kicker, who was very clutch for us and did a great. We were fortunate to have a kid that could kick like this. Okay, we were fortunate to have a young man that was able to kick the way he did. So we bring him back, and he'll be taking the reins on the kickoff and that as well, and we're seeing where he fits in with the punt game as well.
Well, that's great, Bert. I can't thank you enough for coming down, sharing some thoughts on football. Millville football is very important to the community, and I know this broadcast goes all over the county, so all the opponents are out there listening to all this scouting report stuff. But
it's in the paper
that's
anyway.
Just talk. Yeah. That's just talk. You got to go out and play the game. But thank you for coming. We didn't get a chance, unfortunately, to talk about your coaching staff, but I know you're relying on a lot of young guys and coaches that have been there before to work with you. Football is not a one-man game, so I know you're relying on a lot of them. But we wish you well. I'm sure you're going to be back here on Coach's Corner, probably with the superintendent, because he ranks higher than me. So he'll probably be running that with you. But I really do thank you for coming. Wish you the best of luck this year, Coach.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
This has been a QBC television production in association with our partners and sponsors. QBC broadcasts on Comcast Cable Channel 22 and live streams its programming on Facebook and YouTube. All rights reserved by Quinn Media and QBC, programming that serves the South Jersey market.